This the last song that I wrote on this album because I had too many thoughts inside my mind for the outcome. I'm always overthinking shit that will never let go. So then I wrote it on the spot, let my words stay afloat. Yeah, you'll never catch me slipping, making beats up in the kitchen. All my love is. But it's not over, because we're actually going to talk about another beef that's been brewing for almost 7 years. Now, another artist that I do respect is Chris Brown. Now, Chris Brown, whether you love him, whether you hate him, you can't deny that this man has made amazing tracks. He's made countless hits. We're talking Loyal. We're talking fucking Take You Down. Run It. Obviously, Run It. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So, little backstory. Drake and Quavo, who is part of the Migos, rest in peace, Takeoff. Basically, they've been beefing since 2017 because of a girl who's basically Chris Brown's ex, Karrueche Tran. We're not gonna get into that because I respect Chris Brown, so I'm not gonna get into that. So yeah, so basically they're beefing over a girl or a model who basically has basically the power to put guys in their knees because it's Karrueche. What do you do? So so they've been beefing since 2017. They got into an altercation at the BET Awards in 2017 where basically pretty much Quavo and Chris Brown basically don't fuck with each other. Obviously, Chris Brown has sent shots to Quavo a few times. There was one clip where basically went viral where at a basketball event, Chris Brown basically called out Quavo to come out and basically beat him one-on-one in basketball, which is very rare. So basically things have kind of quieted down throughout, I think, 2-3 years. And then this is where shit hits the fan. Now, Chris Brown and Quavo, pretty much they sat at a fashion event in I think early this year in Paris, I think. And everybody was thinking like, oh, they're cool now, they're buddies now. And Chris Brown basically commented saying the reason, fuck Quavo, all this shit. I didn't want to fuck up the bag, so I basically had to sit there. You can't really pick who you can sit. Basically, he was salty about sitting next to someone who he fucking hates. So after that, Chris Brown dropped a deluxe from his latest album, 1111, which is a phenomenal album. Make sure you guys go check it out. And on the deluxe album, there's a song on there featuring Joyner Lucas, Lil Wayne, and T Grizzly. And there's a line on this song, I think I remember, he said something about sipping at 1942. Basically, he was saying that he doesn't fuck with the Migos, basically. Or fuck with Quavo. He basically dissed Quavo on a track. Quavo responded with a track called Tender, which basically he was repeating basically, you beat girls, whatever, you fight girls, you fight whatever, all the women don't fuck with you because you are a woman beater. Basically, he used the same narrative that everybody's been using for Chris Brown for almost a decade at this point, which it's understandable. I get it, and I'm not trying to defend Chris Brown fully for what happened. It's a big issue even to this day. It's been an issue for years and years. But basically, Quavo said, you messed up your ex. You fucked up Rihanna, which was his last girlfriend before Karrueche. And the same day that Drake dropped his Tailor Made freestyle, Chris Brown, the light-skinned petty nigga, decided to drop a diss track on his YouTube channel called The Weakest Link with the craziest cover art with Quavo. You have to go listen to it for yourself. It's still up on YouTube. You guys have to go listen to it because out of all the diss tracks that I've seen, I feel like this diss track was way better than both the Tailor Made freestyle and the Push-Ups freestyle, because not only he basically disrespect Quavo, he basically said, I messed with Quavo's ex. while they were together, because obviously he and Chris Brown and Karuchi are separated. They've been separated for a while, and Sweetie, who is a very popular female rapper who's super dope, basically dated Quavo for about a year, and then I think they kind of broke things off for some apparent reason. I don't know why. Sorry, my phone's going off. Um, and then yeah, and then Sweet, I think she's with YG at the moment. Yeah, that's yeah. From I think I recently saw a video of them hanging out at a backstage or something. So yeah, so Chris Brown basically confirmed that he and Sweetie had a thing, or they've been messing around with each other, or fucking basically. Um, and he also disrespected Quavo by mentioning Takeoff in the song, where he said, "Quavo, that's the homie that I fucked with." He basically said everybody thought it would have been you. He thought that it would have been you that got shot rather than Takeoff. Because obviously Takeoff is one of those dudes that just wasn't really about that life. He was pretty much just like, all right, cool, I'm just, Takeoff's just like kind of like peace guy. Even though he was in basically some great shit. But anyway, no. But Takeoff was just dope, man. I mean, I've never met him, but he seemed like a really cool guy. So rest in peace, Takeoff again. It was very, very, very sad that we lost him. So yeah, so back to the topic. So basically what happened was that Chris Brown basically dismantled Quavo. And Quavo was silent. Everybody talked about it. Everybody was going crazy for the fact that Chris Brown basically demolished Quavo in a crazy diss track called The Weakest Link. And basically he's saying the reason why it's called The Weakest Link because out of all the three Migos, Quavo was one of the weakest. In my opinion, I think Quavo is good as a hook man. I don't think he's the greatest rapper of all time. He's not better than Takeoff, but he is dope with the melodies. But I kind of do see why he's the weakest link, considering that. But I mean, I guess it doesn't make any sense considering that every photo I've seen of those three guys, he was like the middle guy. So I get where Chris Brown was coming from, but I mean, I don't know. But it was still a crazy diss track to say the least. So we applaud Chris Brown. So let's applaud. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. Shout out to Quavo. Please don't kill me. I don't know why I'm just being funny today. But yeah, so that's pretty much what happened. And then Quavo recently dropped a diss track recently against Chris Brown called Over Bitches and Ho or Over Hoes and Bitches, which is basically an acronym for OHB, which is basically a label gang that Chris Brown's in. Or oath. Sorry guys, I'm tired. But yeah. And basically saying that and what was crazy about it is he actually used Takeoff's hook as basically the hook of the song, and basically Quavo was rapping. So yeah, so that was basically pretty much the whole entire beef of Chris Brown and Quavo. They've been beefing for almost a decade at this point, so it's that beef is nothing new.
This the last song that I wrote on this album because I had too many thoughts inside my mind for the outcome. I'm always overthinking shit that would never let go. So then I wrote it on the spot, let my words stay afloat. Yeah, you'll never catch me slipping, making beats up in the kitchen. All my love is